Calling Raphael Goodlow, calling case 230-599-3601. People of the state of Michigan versus Raphael Devontae Valentine Goodlow. Defendant charged with 1 count of domestic violence, 3rd offense notice. Today is the date and time for the bond redetermination hearing.
Judge, always a pleasure and privilege. Steve Benson for the people, P71917.
And Your Honor, good morning. May it please this honorable court for the breaking 57156 on behalf of Devontae Goodlow, Raphael Devontae Goodlow, Your Honor.
Sir, state your name for the record. You're on mute, sir.
Oh.
Sorry about that, Judge.
No, you're fine. All right. Bond is currently 20,000. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
One more second. Okay, argument.
Judge, this is one that I may have to just not say a whole lot, have Mr. Mr. Goodlow lie down on the couch and have you speak to him in a very strong and way. You know, this is the 3rd DV, right? So he has one from 2004. That's about 20 years ago. So that, that's time ago. Now he's on probation right now in Macomb County with the same complaint for DV. Now, I understand when we get in relationships, we're laying in the bed and we get to arguing. Now it's alleged that they were arguing over Mr. Goodlow not having a job or getting a job. That's something that Mr. Goodlow needs to do, and he understands that. We talked about that the other day. That's one of the things we talked about. You got a child, you got to work, and that's important, and as a man. But now, one of the things I looked at too, Judge, is, there was a cell phone, and it stated that he tried to get a cell phone, or we reached for the cell phone, and somehow a finger got cut. It doesn't talk about a knife, doesn't talk about a sharp object, but it says a finger got cut, was bleeding, that required 3 stitches at a later time. And we talked about running out of the house, going and grabbing and coming back, hitting all that. But the main thing, if you're in a relationship, you got to respect your relationship. You can't hit women. I'm not saying Mr. Goodlow did that. I'm saying whatever issue you have to work out without violence. Now it's obvious that Miss Nichols, she was there. You know what I'm saying? She was there with him, and they were laying in the bed and everything. She's not afraid to be there because she's there, and they're laying in the bed. So it's like, I'm assuming she wants to be there, but know that she doesn't want to be hit. I know that. I know that he want to be hit. I mean, you want to get along. So I don't know how long he's been on probation in Macomb. I don't know if counseling classes are part of the condition, but I think that counseling, and we're talking about, really misdemeanors. And when this is the 3rd offense, now this is a felony. But it's all about how to get along and how to, he's not going out robbing, stealing. He's just having some problems at home, keeping his hands to himself, allegedly. Now, if he gets a job, is one of the conditions this court is going to probably say, listen, by the time you come back, I want to see you have gone out to try to seek employment. That's important. It's part of your bond condition. Got to try to get a job. I'd ask that he have no contact with her, but I am asking for a personal bond. I might be reaching here. I'm asking for a personal, but no contact. Part of the conditions, go get a job, bring proof that you've tried to look for a job, and have no contact with this woman. I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking the court respectfully to consider reduction and a personal bond.
Sir, go ahead.
Judge, if I may inquire, during my conditions of my probation, I was also responsible for seeking mental treatment as well as anger management.
That's
And
it.
I'm glad to stick with that. And that's what I was doing in the first place.
Great. That's great.
Yeah, see, the issue though is this. You know,
Oh.
I'm not really, I'm not really concerned about the finger on it. Allegedly the complainant shouldn't be reaching for somebody else's phone because that's not her phone. That's his phone. Okay. And if he's trying to snatch the phone back and he has long nails or a ring or something that cuts her finger, that's the price of trying to get to somebody's phone. I'm really not concerned about that. But what troubles me with these allegations is that a person is inquiring or, upset that a grown man is not working. And from the way the report writes, he gets upset about being questioned about being unemployed. And because of the questioning of that triggers this anger, and it's a little overcompensation about put your hand down. It's a little put your hand down. It's a little overcompensation for the question about why are you not working or contributing or whatever. And, the arguments can ensue, the little thing about the self, not even getting to that. But the complainant runs out the house, and then the dragging back, and then the body shots. Now, when you're punching someone in the ribs and the stomach, that's either like in a literally in a boxing ring, or that is, a dude off the street that you having a street fight with. It's not normal. You don't normally hit body shots to somebody you care about, your girlfriend, your wife, your kids. When you go into the body, you looking to inflict a little damage and wears them down, and then you could get it's too much. And then to the body, to the head, it's I don't understand. I don't understand what an argument over a person not working can trigger body shots. And so if there is a need for mental health counseling already coming out of Macomb, and there is anger management already coming out of Macomb, obviously, either you're not engaged in those programs or you're not taking them seriously. But sir, this is a road to spending a lot of time in prison, because there's only so many times you're gonna keep giving body shots to women and punching in the face. And even if there was provocation, again, her trying to snatch her phone is not right. It's not right. It's wrong. That's your phone. That's your property. You shouldn't have to give up your phone even though you're unemployed. Being unemployed and not paying bills doesn't make you have to give up your cell phone. But you don't get to give rib shots. Okay. You don't get to, that's just not acceptable. And so because you're on probation for domestic violence, and then you're charged with domestic violence, that makes me think that you can't control yourself. And I don't think you're a danger to the community. Your lawyer has argued that well. You're not a danger to the community. You're just a danger to whoever is your loved one or whoever is your partner. That's who's in danger, because you don't know how to handle situations without beating them, allegedly. Well, not allegedly. You have 2 convictions of it, so you that's what you do. That doesn't mean you did it in this case. These are mere allegations. That's all they are at this point. But what we're going to do, sir, you forfeited the right to have a personal bond. So that's out of the question. Okay, so the only question is whether the 20,000 cash bond stays, or whether there's a reduction on the 20,000. But you're getting a cash bond, and it's going to be an unaffordable bond because you're unemployed. But you are going to have a cash bond because that's the only way the court finds that the complaining witness can remain safe. Now, with all of that talking, I'm going to now allow the prosecutor to speak, and he's only speaking to the level in which the cash bond should be. So go ahead.
Thanks, Judge. I did ask for 25,000. The Honorable Magistrate Boyer ended up issuing the 20,000. In this particular matter, Judge, and respectfully, I know you mentioned body shots, but prior to those body shots, to get her back to the residence, let's not forget, he ended up dragging her by her hair. He dragged her by her hair back, and that's when the body shots came. Now, one other thing, Judge, when he was charged in Macomb County, he was charged with a 3rd DV. It was a felony that he was being charged with. He pled to a DV second in Macomb, but he was charged with the third. So this is the fourth go around for domestic violence. And the probation judge, he ended up being convicted of that let me just get this right, in June of this year.
Okay.
So
that's enough, Mr. Prosecutor. You know, I was hoping that these priors were for long ago. You're telling me that this was like 5 months ago, and this summer you're convicted of domestic violence this summer, and we're back here. Bond continues. Bond continues. Bond will be 20,000 cash. If he makes the 20,000 cash, I'm not going to do house arrest because I want him to actually look for a job. So he'll have his conditions of a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew and a no contact with the complaining witness. You know, this has to stop now. So I thank you for your advocacy, Mr. Reagan. I really do. But this case is resolved. Good luck, sir. Good luck.